Hello, hello. We are on day 4 of 12 days of Christmas, and today we have another fun layout. What you're going to need for this layout are 2 photos. What I used is I used a 4x6 portrait orientation, a 4x6 landscape orientation, and I trimmed this photo right here, the 4x6, down to actually 4x5. So I'm going to go ahead and trim an inch off of that. Okay, and then you're going to use the following pieces of ephemera from that 49 and Market ephemera pack. You're going to use, ooh, we lost a little star in here. Gotta get that out. Okay, you're gonna use the teeny tiny black star, the big black star, the green label, the red label that says Merry Christmas, this red tab, the medium size red star, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, a snowflake, this little tag with holly on it, and that is the ephemera that I used on my layout. You're going to use a couple of these stickers from the puffy sticker sheet that came in the kit. You're going to use a couple of these stickers. I'm just gonna put these off to the side for now. You're gonna use a piece of, I'll get back to this in one second. You're gonna use a piece of white 12x12 cardstock from your stash. You're gonna need probably a self-healing mat and an X-Acto blade to cut these out. You're gonna need some red acrylic paint, some red ink, and a blending tool, okay? And the first thing that we're gonna do, I've been really excited to use these. We use almost all of them in this series. We just didn't use any on the first few pages, but now we're going to use a lot. And of course, if you know me, we're going to use this packaging piece of pattern paper that's used for packaging. We use this, so save this, okay? And if you don't have this product and you're working from your stash, you might want to get like a greenish colored piece of cardstock to use in its place, but we don't use it on this layout. So for this layout, we're gonna cut the we're gonna use the words Merry Christmas. Obviously, you can use any one of the titles that you want, but I'm using the ones Merry Christmas. And what you're gonna do to punch these out, don't just try to punch these out of the background piece. They're very fragile, like they're thin, and they have little tiny tabs every so often. I think you can see them probably, little tiny tabs, and you just need to cut through those little tabs and then the title will fall right off. So I just used an X-Acto and I put a self-healing mat under it so I don't cut my work surface, and I go over them probably twice to get all the way through them, because this is, you know, a little bit thick material that these are made out of. So they are sturdy, but not sturdy enough to try to punch out with your fingers, like you'll break them. Okay, what else do we have here? I'm almost done cutting through all of them, I believe. And this little dot of the eye also has one little thing in there holding it in. It's just so that the reason that they do this is so that it stays in the chipboard for packaging and storage, and then when you're ready to use it, you just easily pop your titles out. And then you'll see, oh, I think I missed one down here. You'll see how easy, this title is pretty long and intricate, so it's attached by a lot of pieces. And it should just come right out. I might not have cut deep enough. Okay. So we've got Merry Christmas and the little dot for Christmas on the eye. It wants to stay there. Okay. I think that's the real dot. Okay, and then you can put this off to the side, or you can cut more titles out. I'm gonna put it off to the side and cut the titles out as we go. And then I'm gonna just get a piece of scratch paper that I've already been using on other layouts and set my title on it, the eye dot, and get some red acrylic paint. You can also use ink to color this. There's lots of ways you could color this, but I'm just using red acrylic paint and a little brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of dab it on to color it, because I don't wanna drag the brush too much because then too much white shows through. So I'm just kind of tapping the color on. So we'll get all of the red acrylic paint on this title and on the dot for the eye as well, and then set it off to the side to dry. So I'm gonna go off camera to finish doing this because it, you know, it takes a couple of minutes, and I will be right back. Okay, so you can see that I'm towards the end here, and if you wanted, you could come make a second coat of this. If you feel like anywhere is looking sparse, you can go back in and do a second coat, which I do not feel like I need to do. So I'm gonna set this off to the side to dry, and then we're gonna start working on our page. So we're gonna start with the white paper. Oh, you're also going to need some of the white paper that you had left that you were using to mat photos on. So I still have this piece of white paper left that I was matting photos on. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in half. This is 4 inches by 12 inches. So I'm gonna cut it into 2 pieces that are 4 by 6. And actually I'm gonna cut one down to 5, because if you remember, I cut my photo down to 5 inches. And we're gonna go ahead and take the red ink pad that you have and the blending tool and ink the edges of these photo mats, so the 4 by 6 pieces. Now, these are 4 by 6 pieces, and your photos are also 4 by 6 inches. So what you're gonna wanna do so that your photos fit nicely on these photo mats is trim 1/4 of an inch off of 2 sides of your photos. So instead of actually being 4 inches by 6 inches, your one photo is gonna be 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And that way it will fit perfectly on this 4 by 6 mat. Let me show you what I mean. I've already trimmed these. Okay. And same with this other guy that I have that I cut to 4 inches by 5 inches. I'm gonna trim 1/4 of an inch off both sides, so it's really 4 3/4 inches long by 3 3/4 inches tall. So that way it will fit perfectly on this mat that's 4 inches by 5 inches. Okay. So your photos are matted like that, and you can go ahead and put this ink up. We're not going to use it anymore for this layout. And then we're going to take, oh, I forgot to even tell you what paper we're using. Well, that's not good. We're going to take this sheet of paper that you have. I can't believe I forgot to tell you that. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is trim the branding strip from the bottom, and we are going to use it on this layout, so save it. The next thing we're going to do is cut 1/2 of an inch off of the side of this layout. So it's gonna be 11 and a half inches across, okay? Then we are going to cut 4 1/2 inches off of the top. Okay. And then this piece will keep long like it is. Now, we're gonna use this paper, and it's going to go like this and like this, but we're also gonna have tears out of both papers that show the background. So we're gonna tear up towards us, just like a big chunk that's taken out of the paper, and you're going to flip it upside down and try to place it as close as you can, covering it up, covering up the hole that you just tore out. Okay, if that doesn't work perfectly, do not worry, because we're going to do another piece down here. Okay. Okay, so we've got this, but as you can tell, it's too long. It's hanging off the bottom. So instead of trimming from the bottom, we're going to trim 1 1/4 inches off this top section right here. And the reason that we're trimming after and not before is just in case you messed up any of that little tearing right there. So So we've got 1 1/4 inches piece. We can use that underneath that top tear that we tore out, okay, to cover it up nicely. So we'll go ahead and cut a chunk off of this. To use to cover this up, or not cover it up, but stick out from behind it. You got to turn it the right side sticking out. Okay, how about that? And then this piece down here, you could just put the other piece that you tore from it right in there. Or you could back it with the little piece that you tore off the top that has more text. Now it's upside down. The text is upside down, so it's up to you if you want your text to be upside down or not. I don't care, because I kind of like the text better than this red blotch, because to me that red blotch looks like blood, like a blood splatter on my Christmas layout. So I would rather just take this, okay? And then we can go ahead and adhere all of this down. And you have more of this to play with. Like, you've actually got words in this little piece. I could have backed down here with this. You know, you have extra scrap to play with. But we will just go ahead and line this up right here. And then we'll go ahead and line this up at the bottom. And then you're gonna see that there's a gap, a big white space in between. But that's gonna be totally fine, because that's gonna get covered up with this branding strip, okay? You're gonna wanna trim the branding strip a little so it's the exact same width as the papers. So there we go. Okay. So that's the base of our layout. All these little scraps that we tore, I think I'm gonna keep these because I can't remember if I used little pieces in upcoming layouts. So we'll just keep those off to the side. Okay, next we can start putting the pictures down. One goes here, one goes here. And then this layout comes together really quick because the amazing paper on this layout is so beautiful and like an artwork already of mixed media in itself that we don't need to add a lot of paper or anything else to this page. So we can put this little green tab on this side. And then we can kind of build up a little cluster down here. We'll start with this tag. We will add this red and white, one slipping right out there. We're gonna pop this up on foam tape. And then use it to cover that area. So it kind of pulls that together to read as one. We can use this red star down here. Okay. Alrighty. Let's move to this area. Okay, so we've got our Merry Christmas. And it's gonna overlap a tiny bit this picture and a tiny bit this picture. But as you can see, it's kind of a little bit lost looking there. Like it feels like it blends, kind of gets lost in the background. So we're gonna put this star behind it to kind of draw a little attention to the beginning of the word. And then we've got this snowflake ephemera. This is the star and the snowflake are from the 49 and Market ephemera pack. And we're just gonna slide this snowflake under there. Okay, now we're gonna come in with stickers before I put the rest of these things on. Actually, I can go ahead and put this Merry Christmas tab on. This is pretty easy. Goes right about there. But before we put this last star on, we're gonna grab our sticker sheet and we're gonna build up those embellishment clusters a little bit more using stickers and the foam stickers. I'm going to start out with this piece of holly. And I'm going to take the words all together and overlap them right across both of those. And then I'm gonna take a red heart from here and put it right there. So this bottom cluster is pretty much done. Then we're gonna take this big, large sticker and it's gonna kind of underlap a little bit of this Merry Christmas. And then we've got some holly berry stickers. I'm gonna stick one. Try not to push your stickers down really, really hard in case you need to add more layers under it. And then I'm gonna get this. Okay, Christmas will be there. So I'm going to put this one kind of under there, and another holly leaf sticking get this one sticking right out. In there. And now we can put our Merry Christmas title on. We can go ahead and put this star on too. So this star can go right here. Okay, I'm gonna put the word blessed right here. I'm gonna get another red heart sticker and put it right there. So we've got some hearts around, and then another red heart sticker up here. That way we have a heart in each of the embellishment clusters. Okie doke. I'm gonna put this December 25th down here. And then the last thing that I did on this is I went and found this little square that we had cut apart with the Santas that were in day number 3. And I'm just gonna fussy cut this holly piece just because I wanted a little more holly on this page. And I'm just quickly fussy cutting it with a little bit of the white border showing. I'm not too concerned with the black polka dots that are showing in the border. I think it's fine. There's so much going on here on this page that they blend. So I'm gonna cut that out and pop it up on foam tape as well. And then I'm going to overlap it right. I feel like it needs something big right there. So overlap it right there. And then guys, this is the end of this layout for day number 4 of the 12 days of Christmas. And we would love to see your layout. If you make one of these, you can share it on our Not Just for Boys. Oh, we'll have to glue down the title, which I lost the dot of the I because I moved it too much. We'll pretend like that's glued down right there. But you can share it on our Not Just for Boys Facebook page and at our Not Just for Boys Kit Club community Facebook page. And this is how I just realized I never even told you what to adhere this with. So I use glitter, the art glitter glue to adhere this, and I put a little on my hand and I tap it on my hand. That way it gets all over the back without getting like super gloppy all over the back, like if I turned it upside down and poured it out on the back. I like doing that. And somewhere my little dot for my eye right there is around here. I'll find it when I turn off the camera. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Merry Christmas.